tumatagal, nakukumbinsi ako na duwag si Sara Duterte. Habang tumatagal, nakukumbinsi ako na duwag si Sara Duterte. Duwag. Duwag talaga, guys. Duwag. Oo. Duwag na duwag na duwag na duwag. Actually, kung nakita niyo naman sa title ko, hindi pa to tungkol dun sa pag-atras ni Sara Duterte kasi wala pang word kanina nung ginagawa ko tong topic. Pero nagkaroon ng balita pagkatapos kong gawin yung topic. So, eto na, pag-usapan natin. Pag-usapan natin yung nangyaring ganap. VP Sara Duterte to skip House hearing on impeachment complaints against her. Ayun. Eto na. Tagu-taguan sa ilalim ng buwan. Wala, mga kababayan. Wala, duwag. Akala ko ba inosente? Akala ko ba inosente? Confirm na ba na pupunta ng SE na naman? Confirm na ba na pupunta ng SE? Sige, go ahead. Alam niyo mga kababayan, sige, go ahead. Punta siya ng SE. Walang problema. At this point, punta siya ng SE? Sige. Punta siya sa Supreme Court. I dare their group to go to the Supreme Court. Punta sila ng Supreme Court. Kala ba nila mananalo sila? Kasi ito, kapag ipinanalo ng Supreme Court si Sara Duterte dito, masyado nang obvious. Masyado nang obvious. It's too much. Baka ma-impeach lahat ng justice. Baka sila ang i-impeach. Oo. Baka sila ang i-impeach, guys. Chika ni Atty. Palsis. Tignan natin. Pero kung pupunta siya sa Supreme Court, I think that's not a good strategy. That's not a good strategy. Tingnan natin. Ano ba sinabi ni Palsis? Ako parang hindi ko okay. Congress expects. Okay. Hindi pa naman. Wala pa. Ito yung sinabi ni Jesus Palsis. Tingnan natin. Ayan Puntahan natin sinabi ni Jesus Palsis. Ano sabi niya? Sabi ni Tweety Bird, Congress expects Sara Duterte to run for help from the Supreme Court when the Committee on Justice approves the motion of Congressman Chel Jokno to subpoena her AMLAC bank records tomorrow. Wala pa ngayon. Pero, hihingi kapag daw isinubpina yung kanyang bank records. Okay. Mahirapan sila dyan, guys. Anyway, punta muna natin to. Dito muna tayo. Sabi ng balita, the Vice President Sara Duterte will not attend the House Committee on Justice hearings on Wednesday regarding the impeachment complaints against her. Sabi niya. Sabi ni Atty. Michael Poa, yung isa sa mga abogado ni Sara Duterte, confirmed her non-attendance in the committee's first hearing on the impeachment raps, which were earlier found sufficient in form, substance, and in grounds. Sabi niya, ba't hindi sila pupunta? We raised due process issues because of what we feel sa aming pananaw ay hindi naging uniform yung standards ng pagdetermine ng sufficiency in form and substance doon sa naging impeachment complaint laban sa ating Pangulo at sa naging impeachment complaint laban sa ating ikalawang Pangulo. Ayan, yun yung kanilang basis. Okay. Ano yung difference? Diba? Ano yung sinasabi nilang hindi nagkaroon ng uniform standards? Okay. Ano yung difference? Balikan natin yung history. In both cases, nagkaroon ba ng hearing sa doon sa mga nagkaroon ba ng separate hearings doon sa impeachment complaints? Take note, kay PBBM meron 3 impeachment complaint if I'm not mistaken. Kay Sara Duterte merong 4. Pero nag-withdraw yung 2. So 2 na lang. Okay, 2 na lang daw yung impeachment complaint kay Sara Duterte. Okay. So, nagkaroon ba? Ito na lang. Tayo na lang mag-usap muna mga kababayan bago natin pag-usapan yung technicalities. Nagkaroon ba? Dininig ba ng House Committee on Justice lahat ng impeachment complaints individually? Individually. Ibig sabihin, si complainant number 1, may separate hearing. Si complainant number 2, may separate hearing. Okay. Ganun ho ba ang nangyari in both cases? The answer is yes. Yes. There are 2 separate hearings para sa 2 complainants against Sara Duterte. Merong, if I'm not mistaken, 3 separate hearings against the 3 complainants laban kay PBBM. So, as far as the standards in terms of the hearing is concerned, I mean yung time, the time given to the hearing is concerned, time and attention given to the hearing is concerned, pareho lang. Okay. In terms of form, was the impeachment complaint of PBBM sufficient in form? Was it sufficient in form? Yes. It was voted as sufficient in form. Okay. Kay Sara Duterte, it was also voted by majority of the members of the Justice Committee na it is sufficient in form. Napakahaba pa ng deliberasyon niya. So, pangalawa. Pangatlo, was there, nung sila ay pinag-usapan yung sufficiency in substance, were all the grounds debated upon? Oo. Lahat ba ng mga grounds na sinabi kung bakit kailangan i-impeach si PBBM ay pinagdebatihan? The answer is yes. Lahat. Tagal nga ng debate, umabot pa na maghapon yun. Oh. Kay Sara Duterte, ganun din ba? Pinagdebatihan lahat ng mga grounds? Yes. Yes. Pero mga kababayan, anong ending? Kay PBBM, it's not sufficient in substance. Kay Sara Duterte, they found it is sufficient in substance. Yun ang pagkakaiba. Bakit? Kasi yung kay PBBM, are mere allegations. There are no corroborative proof regarding the ultimate facts without even dissecting the evidentiary facts yet. Oo. Hindi pa pinag-uusapan yung evidentiary facts. Pinag-uusapan lang natin yung ultimate facts. Hindi nagko-corroborate eh. Bakit? Kasi karamihan ng yung mga tawag dito, pinag-usapan doon, yung content ng impeachment complaint are kwento-kwento, hearsay. Walang dokumento. There are no documents. Absolutely no documents. No documents at all. On the contrary, kay Sara Duterte, was there ultimate facts? Yes. Same is true with PBBM. May ultimate facts din. Kasi may allegations eh. Pero, anong pinagkaiba? Kay Sara Duterte, may documents. Without even going deeply into the proof to the evidentiary facts. Hindi pa pinag-uusapan yung evidentiary facts ha. Pinag-uusapan lang kung merong dokumento o wala. Yun lang. Kung may dokumento o wala lang. Kay Sara Duterte, tambak ang dokumento. Meron from COA, meron from AMLAC, meron from tawag dito, yung video ng kanyang death threat, etc. etc. Tambak ng dokumento. So, ano nangyari? Yung iba, sinasabi nila, walang sufficient grounds for the others. For the other, walang sufficient walang sufficient substance doon sa ibang grounds. Pero, because they need to vote on the impeachment complaint as a whole, at tulad ni Rufus Rodriguez, out of the 5, 2 lang ang substantial for him. Eh wala siyang choice. He voted yes. Kasi, meron 2 na substantial. Ano gagawin natin? Okay. So, in both cases, mga babayan, kay PBBM, bumoto ang Kongreso, ang Committee on Justice. They voted hindi sufficient in substance. Bakit? Kasi walang dokumento. Kay Sara Duterte, it was voted sufficient in substance because may documentation. Merong mga ebidensya. Okay. Next. Due process. Due process. Ang sabi ni Michael Powa, may due process issues daw. Kasi hindi rin naging uniform yung standard sa pag-determine ng sufficiency in form and substance, etc. etc. Okay. May due process issues pala in their interpretation. In their interpretation. So, bakit hindi pa rin sila tumatakbo sa SC hanggang ngayon? Why? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Diba? Kasi ano nga mga kababayan, kung may due process issues at ito ay na-determine na nila last week pa. Last week pa nila nalaman na may due process issues. Ba't di sila tumakbo sa SC last week? Why not today? Diba? Ba't hindi ngayon? Bakit? Anong iniintay nyo? Kung may due process issues pala. Kasi kung gusto nilang ma-dismiss agad itong kaso na to, tatakbo kayo sa Supreme Court, sabihin nyo, mayroong problema ng due process. We want to ask for a temporary restraining order. So that to restrain the proceedings from continuing. So, bakit? Why not now? Ano hinihintay niyo? Ibig sabihin mga kababayan, wala pa. Maski sila alam nila na wala pang issue on due process. Maski sila, alam nila na wala pang issue on due process. Mm. Wala pa kasi talaga. Ngayon, bukas, pinadalhan sila ng sulat. Umattend kayo. Iniimbitahan namin kayo. Umattend kayo ng hearing. Hindi sila pupunta. That means it is a waiver of their right to be heard. They're waiving their due process right. Ngayon kayo pupunta sa SC kung kailan ayaw nyong i-exercise ang inyong mga karapatan? Sabi ni Edmond Sumalde, malakas ang loob kapag nasa Senado dahil maraming kaalyado. Correct. I do. Tama, agree ako dyan sa sinabi ni Edmond Sumalde. Pero bakit ayaw nilang paangatin ng Supreme Court, ng Senate? Diba? Kung pupunta sila ng Supreme Court, titakot din sila sa Senate. Again, mga kababayan, what are they waiting for? Why not today? Ibig sabihin, wala pa silang nakikitang violation of due process. Sinasabi lang nila to justify yung hindi pag-attend ni Sara Duterte. Sinasabi lang nila yan to justify yung pagiging duwag ni Sara Duterte. The fact of the matter is, mga kababayan, wala talagang isasagot si Sara Duterte sa mga accusations laban sa kanya. Ang gusto lang nila mangyari, makita yung ebidensya. At i-dispute nila yon pagdating sa Senate. Ganun ang gagawin nila dyan. Hihintayin lang nila. O naglabas ng ebidensya tungkol dito. O syempre, nakita na ng kalaban. Pag-aaralan na nila yon. Paano natin di-dispute to? Anong kailangan natin dokumento? Etc. So, advantage for them. Yung sinasabi nilang due process issues, wala yan. Drama-drama lang nila yan. Oo. The real strategy is, hindi sila a-attend para sila mismo makakita ng ebidensya. Without them showing their counter. Hindi pa sila nagpapakita ng baraha nila hanggang ngayon, guys. Pero baka kasi walang baraha. Diba? They're bluffing. This is a bluff. O sige, bukas magkakaroon ng hearing. Ang sabi ni Attorney Jesus Palsis, pag daw pupunta raw sa Supreme Court kapag nag-motion si Attorney Congressman Chel Jokno ng bank records ni Sara Duterte. Okay, walang problema. Is it a violation of due process to subpoena her AMLAC or bank records? No. It is not. Bakit? Kasi isa ho yan sa mga allegations against her. Unexplained wealth. Unexplained wealth. Bakit siya merong 50 million pesos sa kanya sahod? Magkano lang ang sahod ng mayor? Magkano lang ang sahod ng vice president? Ba't siya may 50 million? Hindi pa dyan natatapos. Meron pang question mark. Meron pang questions on the 2 billion pesos na dumaan sa mga bank accounts ni Sara Duterte at ni Rodrigo Duterte. Okay. Itong punto na to, mga kababayan, kapag ito nangyari bukas, pwede na pumunta sa Korte Suprema si Sara Duterte at hingiin ang temporary restraining order dito sa pag-expose ng kanyang record. Sabihin, it's a violation of my data privacy or right to privacy. Oo. Kaso, ano yung dedepensa niya? Exempt sa data privacy at sa bank secrecy law ang impeachment proceedings. Hindi, exempted ang impeachment proceeding sa Data Privacy Act. So, ano dadalhin na sa Supreme Court? Ano dadalhin na sa Supreme Court? Paki-TRO yung pagsumpina ng AMLAC ko kasi makikita yung pera ko It violates my right to that is protected by the bank secrecy law, etc. Ano sasabihin ng Supreme Court? Kaso may batas exempted ang impeachment. Ideally, yun ang sasabihin ng Supreme Court. Pero, pag nangyari uli yung kabaliktaran at sinabi ni Supreme Court na, ay, tama ang Sara Duterte, dapat hindi nyo buksan yan, violation ng due process. Alam na natin. Alam na agad kung ano nangyayari. Oo. Alam na. Kasi exempt nga sa impeachment process ang AMLAC Tapos biglang ipagbabawal ng Korte Suprema. Ano problema? May problema pag nangyari. And it's not good. Hindi ho maganda yun, guys. Pag nakita natin na nangyari yun bukas, it's not good at all. It's not good. Bakit? Kasi mga kababayan, matagal na siyang tinatanong tungkol sa corruption, never siyang sumagot. And agree po ako sa sinabi ni Attorney Luistro, Congresswoman Luistro, na panahon na para linawin at linisin niya ang kanyang pangalan. Yung sinabi ni Congresswoman Luistro.
Right. Regarding naman po dun sa attendance po ng respondent, VP Duterte, sa first hearing bukas, any filler po from her camp?
Wala tayong nare-receive about the possibility of the Vice President attending our hearing tomorrow, no? But again, we are still hopeful kasi sabi ko nga, ang tagal na nitong mga katanungan na to, questions on the confidential fund, questions on the threat committed against the President, questions on unexplained wealth. I think it's about time na marinig na ng taong bayan ang kasagutan ng ating Vice Presidente.
Kung since mag-start na po yung isa sa mga pinaka-crucial part po ng impeachment proceedings dito sa Kamara, meron po ba kayong nararamdaman na external pressure bilang chairperson ng House Committee on Justice?
To be honest, wala talaga no? I've been hearing from social media na meron daw pressure coming from the leadership of the House, meron ding mga representations coming from the Duterte camp, but in either party, wala tayong nararamdaman, naririnig, o na-experience na pressure about this impeachment proceeding.
Right. Pero kung over the weekend, you made an appeal to your colleagues dito po sa House of Representatives, and sa quote po na nakita po namin sa interview niyo po, ang sabi niyo, hindi tayo dapat matakot sa presidente, sa vice-presidente, sa anumang religious group. Can you clarify on this?
Well, it is because of various discussions over the social media, no? Na may pressure na coming from the administration, tapos meron ding representation coming from the vice president's camp, no? At ito naman, apparently, ay nagsisirculate din itong mga ganitong kwentuhan among the members of the House. But about hearing personally, things like this, wala talaga. So, it is me as chairperson of the Justice Committee just trying to make sure that things are clear about my colleagues, that I was saying na we owe our fidelity to the sovereign Filipino people. We do not owe it to the President, to the Vice President, neither do we owe it to any religious group. Totoo naman. Because ang ating sinusunod.
Correct! We don't owe it to any religious group.
Dito ay ang mandato ng Constitution, at ang Constitution naman ito ay this is a representation of the sovereign Filipino people, no? So It's just my way of reacting to the circulating information, although the same is not verified, just to make sure that the members of the House are aware about their mandate coming from the sovereign Filipino people, no? We need to be impartial, we need to be independent, we need to be very honest in hearing this impeachment complaint, because at the end of the day, this is the fidelity that we owe to the sovereign Filipino people.
Right. Last on my part na lang po bago po i-turn over sa ibang kasama. Based po sa aming observations sa mga meetings po ng House Justice Committee on the impeachment complaints against the Vice President, palagi pong full house ang Justice Committee. And since crucial part po yung hearing starting tomorrow, may expectation ba tayo mas dadami pa yun pong attendees, especially from the ex-official members?
Well, this is our challenge, no? Kasi recess nga most of the House members went back to their respective districts, no? Pero we have a continuing appeal to our colleagues na sana mag-participate sila in the hearings tomorrow and in the succeeding hearings. As a matter of fact, this is the reason kung bakit in-announce natin in advance yung 4 hearings for April, no? Including the March 25, 3 for April 14, 22, and 29. That is to give them the opportunity to do some adjustment with their schedule, considering na itong ganitong recess are really being dedicated by the House members to their respective district, no? So, yan ito constitutional duty. Kaya, ano man po ang ating mga activities sa district, in our respective district, I hope that the Justice members will find time and will find way to be able to attend our hearing tomorrow.
Alright, thank you po. Sige po. Sa iba pong kasama magtatanong. Good morning po.
With emphasis pa talaga yung sa religious groups, Actually kasi, well, okay lang din naman, pero kasi ako naman, mga kababayan, naniniwala kasi ako that the religious sector is the conscience of the government. Konsensya yan Kasi it is the religious groups that dictate, or not naman dictate, that what's the right word? Hindi ko maisip yung right word. Hindi dictate encourages. Yun na lang. It is the religious groups that encourage the view of morality sa atin pong ang gobyerno. So ako, sa akin walang problema yan. And I think it is unnecessary, or hindi unnecessary, a necessary sector sa atin pong bansa. Kaso kasi, ang problema kasi, mga babayan, ang problema ko kasi, naaabuso, pati yung mga religious groups. And I'm not just talking about, I'm not just talking about KOJC, I'm also talking about Catholics, INC, etc., etc. They're being, Jesus is Lord, etc., etc. They're being used for political purposes.